It was a bitterly cold winter evening in 1945 in Fayetteville, West Virginia. A young woman named Jenny Hewitt had just arrived at the Sodder residence, eager to start her new babysitting job. The wind was howling through the trees, its mournful sighs echoing through the deserted streets as Jenny stepped out of the chill night air and into the musty warmth of the old house. The doors creaked and groaned as she entered, their hinges protesting the sudden intrusion. As she settled into her routine, putting the 9 Sodder children to bed and tidying up the house, Jenny began to feel a creeping sense of unease. The creaks and groans of the old house seemed to take on a sinister tone, and she couldn't shake the feeling that someone was watching her. Every step she took, every move she made, seemed to be monitored by unseen eyes. She heard strange noises outside, like someone was walking around the house. But whenever she looked out the window, there was no one there. The darkness seemed to press in around her, making her feel claustrophobic and trapped. Just as she was starting to relax, the phone rang, shrill and loud in the quiet house. Jenny's heart skipped a beat as she picked up the receiver, and a distorted voice whispered in her ear, "Get out while you still can." The voice was barely audible, but Jenny's nerves were on edge as she tried to process what she had just heard. The words sent a chill down her spine, and she felt a cold sweat break out on her forehead. Suddenly, the lights in the house began to flicker, and Jenny heard the sound of footsteps coming from upstairs. Her fear turned to panic as she realized she was trapped in the house. She tried to call for help, but the phone was dead. The darkness seemed to closing in around her, and she felt like she was being pulled down into some deep, dark abyss. And then, everything went black. The next morning, the Sodder parents returned home to find Jenny gone, but the children were safe and sound. The house was spotless, and there was no sign of Jenny or any evidence of what might have happened to her. It was as if she had vanished into thin air. Jenny Hewitt was never seen again, and her disappearance remains a mystery to this day. Some say that on quiet winter nights, you can still hear Jenny's screams echoing through the empty halls of the Sodder residence. Others claim to have seen her ghostly figure wandering the deserted streets of Fayetteville, forever trapped in a living nightmare. But one thing is certain: Jenny Hewitt's disappearance will forever remain a dark and sinister enigma, a haunting reminder of the horrors that lurk in the shadows of our deepest fears. Years have passed since that fateful night, but the legend of Jenny Hewitt's disappearance has only grown. People whisper about the cursed house, the haunted halls, and the unspeakable horrors that lie within. Some say that on certain nights, when the wind is blowing and the trees are creaking, you can still hear Jenny's cries for help, echoing through the empty halls of the Sodder residence. But the truth about Jenny Hewitt's disappearance remains a mystery, a secret that will forever be buried in the depths of the Sodder house. And as the years go by, the legend of Jenny Hewitt will only continue to grow, a haunting reminder of the horrors that lurk in the shadows of our deepest fears. Welcome to the Winchester Mystery House, a sprawling Victorian mansion in San Jose, California, with a dark and terrifying history. This is a place where the living are not alone and the dead are still very much present. The Winchester Mystery House has been shrouded in mystery and terror for over a century, and its history is filled with tragedy, loss, and unexplained occurrences. In 1881, Sarah Winchester's life was marred by tragedy. Her only child, Annie, died in infancy, and her husband, William, died suddenly from tuberculosis. Devastated, Sarah sought the advice of a medium to contact her deceased loved ones. The medium told Sarah that her family was cursed by the ghosts of the people killed by the Winchester rifle. The medium advised Sarah to build a house to appease these spirits and to never stop building it, or else she would die. And so, Sarah began building the Winchester Mystery House in 1884. She hired a team of carpenters and architects and worked on the house nonstop for the next 38 years, until her death in 1922. The house is a maze of rooms, corridors, and staircases that seem to lead nowhere. It has 160 rooms, 2,000 doors, 47 fireplaces, and 10,000 light fixtures. But it's not just the size of the house that's impressive. It's the strange and terrifying occurrences that have been reported by visitors. Many people believe that the Winchester Mystery House is haunted by the ghosts of the people killed by the Winchester rifle. Visitors have reported seeing ghostly apparitions, hearing strange noises, and feeling unexplained cold spots. Some have even reported being touched or pushed by unseen forces. Others have reported strange visions and hallucinations. One visitor reported that she heard a voice whispering in her ear, telling her to leave her room immediately. When she turned around, she saw a ghostly figure standing in front of her. Another visitor reported that she felt a cold spot on her arm. When she looked down, she saw a ghostly handprint on her arm. These are just a few examples of the many strange and terrifying occurrences that have been reported by visitors to the Winchester Mystery House. The Winchester Mystery House is considered one of the most haunted places in the United States. Thousands of visitors each year are drawn to its labyrinthine corridors and ghostly phenomena. But be warned, you may not leave unscathed. The house has a reputation for being a place of darkness and terror, where the living are not always welcome. Despite its reputation, the Winchester Mystery House remains a popular tourist destination. Visitors from all over the world come to explore its strange and fascinating architecture and to experience its ghostly phenomena for themselves. But be warned, the house is not for the faint of heart. It's a place where the boundaries between the living and the dead are blurred, and where the unknown lurks around every corner. As you walk through the house, you may notice strange architectural features, such as doors that open into walls, staircases that lead to the ceiling, and rooms that are only accessible through secret passages. These features were designed by Sarah herself, and are believed to be part of the house's mysterious and terrifying atmosphere. Some visitors have reported seeing Sarah's ghostly figure wander in the halls, while others have reported hearing strange noises and whispers in the night. Many believe that the house is haunted by the spirits of those who died as a result of the Winchester rifle, and that these spirits are still trapped within its walls. So, if you dare to visit the Winchester Mystery House, be prepared for a journey into the unknown. You may experience strange and terrifying occurrences, or you may simply enjoy the beauty and grandeur of the house. But one thing is certain: you will never forget your visit to the Winchester Mystery House. The Winchester Mystery House has been the subject of numerous paranormal investigations, and many believe that it is one of the most haunted places in the world. Visitors have reported seeing ghostly apparitions, hearing strange noises, and feeling unexplained cold spots. One of the most famous ghost stories about the Winchester Mystery House is the story of a visitor who reported seeing a ghostly figure in a room that was locked and chained. The visitor claimed that the ghostly figure was that of a woman, and that she was standing in front of a door that led to a secret room. Another visitor reported that she heard a voice whispering in her ear, telling her to leave the house immediately. When she turned around, she saw a ghostly figure standing behind her. These are just a few examples of the many strange and terrifying occurrences that have been reported by visitors to the Winchester Mystery House. If you dare to visit the house, be prepared for a journey into the unknown. Thanks for watching. If you dare to visit the Winchester Mystery House, you may just experience the terror for yourself. But be warned, once you enter the house, there's no turning back.